fuel prices and maybe and external issues be na ekoso crude price ekoso a translate eba hasema fuel prices koso no e kire se Akufo-Addo aban no enitima na heartless never can say oni akoma oni do ha amagana for enti na no dey osore ano increase fuel price no koya ko say oh na the enti ono kasa na ye say Ghana a net exporter actually say export oil ni bi crude export ni bi enti no say prices ne cost a ye benefit ye nyamfa so enti samfa so no adenti na Akufo-Addo aban a o nitima
onfa bi
enso Ghana for asene say price ne bo form na okowie no ka say oh akwa say Akufo-Addo aban ne de omo ni ideas bi abio the manage Ghana fuel prices wa obi we referee enyamba pitch no kwa no abo ben say pre start you na fuel prices could say now omo a enya sa idea we from the beginning sure Russia Ukraine war no o kana obi chiro I obi na obi ka say o we no it took us by surprise I just surprised but what I say everybody knew what was happening and then we had the benefit now o ka say a MPA boss India Educhi I can say oh there was some 5 weeks be and no there yen call into the details say bia e wo kro ni mu wa okay into okro ni mu there yin adia okay from that time no what was the government doing oh and then no more here ebesi no then no more here asha ma dey na ba be dum pepen so we afi na president I didn't say good to say oh I did the akodro no there or bonfire say war no be end the president kind no
okay so bonfire
na
and I wadwen so say or bonfire
and I the all kind of what did you say empire no war and I didn't war ye so say o hope and I so hope it's all bonfire na hope obi anu a hope a bonfire into our bonfire say war no end now I don't know say Trump was spilled down so as all catch a friend catch say o si mesi idea o ye me hunu I mean the idea bia me the best idea say that's practically where we are obi into where we have gotten to now no assuming say the obvious interventions really in the say be taxes the way but be a bedroom no under NDC, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, omo kan sema kese Ghana ha. Say, oh, Akufo-Addo government is insensitive, heartless. We are run out of ideas. And ne sa for no bompaye krum ha say a war no end. Now it's not only empire no more bono and the etiakoma. The idea say almost say war no and Akufo-Addo. Because they don't know,
but that's the reality.
They don't know that reality, and they don't deserve any benefit of doubt in that calculation. Say war bet me go for biaba because that will be omokai. Says I will be no emfashi my bibia. Now it is now so can na war no ho. Chinapo all can na war no say Akufo-Addo's government is heartless, insensitive. Into Omono, the same situation is playing out. Pepe, side, the only thing that has changed is Obi, your president Fufro. That's it. Ain't no, say no, what has changed? My point, Obi, is that competent leadership anticipates problems and plan for it. 5 weeks of reserve or mokaya BDCs for stock I woho ya 2 days and no near walk Ghana ha plus the capacity for a friend saying central refinery they told be almost a year about 40% according to a CEO what was their plan? Ever seen no I think Duncan Walker's because what he is saying, has the government thought about this? Is there a plan, a backup plan? The Walker said by now, no, we should be scavenging for cargoes na yen tonto very say I take all say boss margin you know. I think it's a conversation to find out say what has that money been used for. Actually say sikei you will be say scan able to be used to be able to, you know, build buffers. But the ATN say we don't have any buffers. And this government, you know, has no idea. And no way, no, and yes, speculation or obi. President Nanaka. Also the drone there do their thing now. How many days now into the war? Just about some 30, is it close to about 30 days or so into this war?
Yeah, almost a month.
Yes.
Yes.
And the president has run out of ideas. I told Paibo, the National Day of Fasting and prayer to hold the hand of Trump from issuing more commands, say war on Koso. How can you run a country like this? Obi, sir, I say me kind sir infographic. Now I'm trying to say, is it the same President Mahama and the NDC? Now and no be a true no say macroeconomic stability no more come. Into economic stability, then you more can no. Akosi saying. Say, because we had all those challenges because the fundamentals were or there were pre-existing conditions, right? Yes. That aggravated the situation. But in state of nation, so now President Mahama says, the fundamentals are okay, macroeconomic stability has been achieved. Yes, I know Mokachre. Inti enono efahin akoye mframa one time. Ayira enti say no President Mahama see empire na do sa bre no a e see empire no hu say ideas bi ani hobio ti we dey ato nyame enya nyame susu na ye president nyame dey oye global president ya but Ghana dey ye ni ato President Mahama so say ene dey ono say o ye nko head the boss
but say nyame na si ene
ana nyame esi no ana afi wo hu so enti then say obi like the question we should ask is I am papa say nyame dey see no majority because omo di ntro bebere. Let me go back a little bit. Omo di ntro dia abuka John Jinapoka ntro poto ono kai say Ghana is a net exporter. Yeah, if we export crude, it's not the same thing we are putting in our car. Is it the case?
No.
Actually a net importer.
We are not importer.
Maybe I'm coming. But he says we are net exporter. And I'm just indulging him that. Say, okay, crude in the exporting. If you consider how much we are refining now, then we are exporting more than we are refining. So grant him that.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the context.
No.
Okay.
Oh, Masa, assuming that is the case. Yeah. But if that's what he means now, crude ne digu ekamu. Crude no until crude they go come and this say that's what he's talking about. In what context are you putting crude in your car? Mother they say enti adiano I say obi omo di ntro and ba enti nyankopon emfo asantro we so enti nyankopon na see no and throw we untumi fa nkoje ade nyankopon sem. Number 2 I say ye ka theology go back near LGBTQ. And why are some NDC, they are bold liars. Obi, bold liars. You sure say
liars are too harsh.
Debbie, now I don't know one tea. You say LGBTQ. Obi, what tea Ghana had your course?
Yes.
Now and the same people are changing and okay say LGBTQ is not a priority.
This time the countries involved near me and son.
What does that mean? You see,
there are 3 countries.
No,
Ukraine,
what does it
Russia,
mean?
2 countries.
What does it mean? What kind of well, ma'am, no,
but the fact shows this time 3 countries.
So what's the difference in impact? We are talking about the impact of the war, not the participants in the war. Are we discussing the participants? Yet here come Crawford Mukuntokwa, another impact in Susan Tokano Ewo Edima or Mangana. Is that what we are discussing? Say the participants. Then in any event, if you ask Russia whether the parties in the conflict were 2 or they will disagree. What was here? Where that's where we have these conversations. But serious conversations, you don't bring up points like that because I mean, come on. We are talking about the effect of the war on global oil prices, on global economies. What is it? Stock prices are fluctuating every day because of futures are suffering.
Yeah.
People can no longer project and forecast. What you say? Because of the economy. Until you cannot say because US Israel is here against Iran until chain I mean, what kind of conversation is that? My issue is that near economy, a chain say Ghana, we failed to plan. Oh, Namibia says the bust margin. No, it was meant for us. Yes, it was meant for us to have enough reserves. You can say fuel in times of crisis like Niyu. And this is can say be
a bust reserve.
No, margin now mujina is almost the reserves. No, and this can it's a simple question.
No name say bust or lay pipes across the country or say or protected pipes, no secure pipes. So they
are paying for security of the pipes.
No normal operation because cabin no more fine. Say normal operations.
What are you saying? They buy and sell stocks, don't they? They buy stocks and they sell stocks.
Yeah, but for now, if you've studied,
and yeah, for now,
what study bust operations over the years, and now our tanks essentially store private companies, not stocks amount more.
So you see the inefficiency. So why should we be paying for their inefficiency? Why should we be the victims of their inefficiency? Yes, it bust up. No, it was for bust to be a storage entity, and in storage, no, so they were supposed to have reserve. You can say fuel.
Yes.
For a rainy day like today. And if you reduce your wage to just storing stocks for private entities, that's a failure on your part. What must say?
Yeah, but also because someone to stocks nibi no. That's how 12 pesos per liter.
That's not why. Are you telling me say until the bust margin the bar so not bust nisi come the ejuma? Is that what you're saying? Until only 12 pesos you want save you. Is that what you're saying? That is what they use to do their overheads. That's what they use to buy their stocks and the rest of that. Is that what you're suggesting?
That is what it seems.
No, if that is the case, then there's a problem because the margin was not even meant to be paying for overheads. Watch us here. So we need to question how Bust has been managing our stocks. If there's any entity,
if we have any stocks,
maybe if there is any entity say reserves no wahin, it should be Bust. Every country has. US is saying that they are going to release or more energy when agency has agreed to release billions of liters of reserves to shore up the existing stocks country Bia was had you can say Japan, they have the reserves and almost the reserves without any importation of fuel, it can last them for up to 11 days.
11 days?
Yeah.
And then they saying
no. Now you just
5 weeks.
You just raise the point. You just raise the point and say you nibi. You just raise the point and say you nibi.
Yeah, they 5 weeks. And we'll have private people there.
And then we don't have it.
I said we're mining.
No, if the private people say for example, we don't have it. What you say? But I'm talking about what is held in trust for the public, for the Japanese people.
Yes.
Say if they don't get even a drop of fuel into the Japanese economy,
they have 11 days
to survive, on your for 11 days. Yeah, for half a day, we don't have to survive on. So we need to separate what is theoretically available and what is practically available. Until practically is zero. Theoretically, we can rely on the private, suppliers to see so storage tanks. Of course, this is simple, basic economics. When there is scarcity, that is when they determine the price. What must here, and you are going to pay through your nose. The question I keep asking is, why did we set up TOR?
Enra Omanpenny Asia CSOs no or say TOR is bouncing back.
What does that mean?
Now one committee is always a CSO player.
I was not around.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Are you asking me?
No, you are reporting. I'm sure you understood the report. You understood
so what the
message
said,
better. Say it is bouncing back. What does that mean in real terms? What does that mean? Are they refining more crude? What is the number of barrels of crude they refine in a day? What I mean in practical terms, what does that mean? What must say? And when him say there have been individuals in this country, deliberately, they the non-performance of TOR
Yes.
endures to their benefit.
Absolutely.
Nkrofo BDCs are almost imported refined products. No? The working of TOR is not in their interest. And we have political elements who are supporting the constant killing and suppression of TOR. What I say, when you say asset data are available, actually say TOR can refine the oil we get from the oil fields. No?
Yeah.
But over the period, you can say TOR and these machines are what TOR no and to refine your crude. No? So that people can continue to import refined products and make more money. Oh, I was expecting say Abaya Etwe would have spent some energy in reviving TOR. But for the 8 years that the MPP was in office, TOR was not working.
Yeah.
TOR was dead. What you say?
But workers were there now.
And they were taking salaries. So it was a liability. It was a huge cost to the state. Meanwhile, that was the time also before NDC left, there was some semblance of revival under Wadako. Now, I said they even at some point claimed they had posted some profits and all that. I mean, I say claim, I want to choose my words advisedly. They claimed they had posted some profit. So let's even grant that. Which means there was some foundation.
Yeah.
But at least there was some semblance of activity.
Yeah.
We could have built on it, looked at the failings and then corrected them and so on. But for 8 years,
nothing happened.
Nothing happened.